we're live.
We're trying to figure out what to do with our Twitter accounts because Kevin, being the advantageous person he was, and yes, I'm pretty sure most of y'all think that's a big word for me. But anyway, Kevin being advantageous went ahead and created @KevinWhiteUncut.
That was smart.
And he's on it.
He
tweets. He's not one of these people who has other people tweeting for him. He actually tweets for himself.
I actually tweet. I'm going to tell you what. Give me 30 seconds to whore myself out right now. You guys all need to follow George, okay, at our normal account, our old account that everyone's following. Now you got to follow me at Kevin White Uncut. Tell your mom, your pops, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, your pets. Tell them.
Charleston will follow you.
And you guys, I know they're wondering why I'm saying this. It's because I want to become the greatest Twitterer. Is that a word? Alive! Yeah! I'm done.
I don't know if that can happen, pimp, but good luck. I will back you up on this.
Uncut, bitches.
Good luck. Shout-outs.
Yes. Khalil DGK Curry.
Didn't we just give that dude a shout-out?
We might have. But he,
What do you need, one every week?
That's right, man.
Fucking get some self-esteem. God damn.
Anti Rantala. That is ANTIRANTALA. Now, George, if you notice, is Tebowing, and that was for you, John Edel. If I didn't Edel, EDEL.
Y'all obviously don't know me well enough because that's nothing.
He was actually going to get on the table and do the shit naked. I stopped him because I want to be able to hold on to all of our viewers.
Yeah, and I didn't want my dick to hit the table.
Anyway, last night was the BCS National Championship.
That was egregious. It was abomination. It was horrible. Motherfucking the person who did it best was Bobby Hebert when he ripped Les Miles. Dude, LSU did not get past the 50-yard line until 9 minutes left to go in the fucking game.
And they only had 4 plays.
I am so happy they are bringing in a JUCO transfer quarterback, and they got, I think, the number 2 or number 3 quarterback in the nation's coming in. Because Jordan Jefferson looked like he'd never played football last night.
I mean, really, at that point in time, I don't know why you don't put your other quarterback in.
Bobby,
try.
Did you see what Bobby Hebert said?
What did he say?
Just fucking totally tore into Les Miles. Basically asked him, what were you thinking?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the fourth quarter. Your offense has done nothing. You've had 2 first downs. You haven't had any plays down the field. Why didn't you put in the other guy? What are you worried about that point? A pick 6?
Yeah. I mean, it was so. I mean, we're sitting there watching the game, me and a couple buddies, and we're just sitting there going, "Wow." And everybody that was watching the game actually was kind of pulling for LSU because they just wanted them a lot of people were kind of torn because they thought Bama was getting a second chance, and people just wanted without a doubt, who was going to be the national champion. And most people thought that if Bama won the game, and they thought that they probably win the game by a narrow margin, and it would be a big ruckus about everybody, who's the national champion.
Oklahoma State received 4 first-place votes?
Yeah. They got 4 Oklahoma State got more first-place votes than LSU. It's time for a playoff.
LSU's been shut out, I think, 3 times in almost a decade. You know what team's done that? All 3 times?
Bama. Yeah.
I mean, you know who, in my opinion, is a front runner to be in the national title game next year?
Bama.
No, LSU.
Yeah, they've got
LSU's not losing Trent Richardson. LSU's not losing Trent Richardson, and LSU's not losing Trent Richardson.
They're actually keeping a lot of people. Now, I will say this: a lot of people are going to say that. Let's not forget what Bama did. I mean, they look fucking incredible, and a lot of the analysts were out there saying that they thought that Nick Saban would put together a better plan.
Nick Saban. Chauncey, it's Saban.
I know it's Saban. I know, but man, just let me put a little bit of brother edge on that.
Saban?
Saban.
Is that like sword?
Nah, it's more like a axe. Shot.
Let me ask you a question.
You have to get Saban's game plan was
on point.
It was right on point.
He went underneath. His quarterback was going to his tight ends, which he didn't do in the first game. They tried to run Richardson and keep him honest, and then they were settling for field goals. Yeah. And their defense they obviously had no job to do because LSU's offense was left back in Baton Rouge. The shit was terrible. I don't know.
Jordan Jefferson was drowning in the tide all night long, Shorty. All night long. As soon as he got that ball, he had like 3 or 4 motherfuckers on him. If he threw a screen, that guy had 3 or 4 people on him. I mean, with all that being said, Saban becomes the first coach to win 3 BCS titles. Now, there'll be somebody out there who'll be like, no, there's other 3 BCS titles, not national titles. Okay, I'm just gonna make that clear because some fucking tool bag out there will be like this. No, fucking Bear Bryant or fucking some other fucking coach won fucking 6. Who was the other guy? Who was the coach for John McKay? I think for USC, had won like 4 or so.
Ote.
Anyway, they were the overwhelming number 1 favorite in the AP poll. They got almost all the votes. It makes
complete sense.
It does.
That was a dominating performance. They get what they deserve, and now next year started.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's pretty much it for the BCS National Championship. There's a little thing I want to add is that they've been meeting this week. They're meeting, and they're talking about making a playoff. They're talking about doing a playoff series where 1 would meet 4 and 2 would meet 3. You'd have semifinalists, and then they'd have the national championship. They're really starting to push for that. Will it happen? I don't know.
Why can it not? And here's the other thing. Do you really need 45 days off in between games?
Yeah.
That seems a little bit excessive.
I think.
How about 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I mean, first and foremost, these kids are student athletes.
Yeah.
You're telling me with those 45 days off, they were all come on, man.
This is the thing too. When you have to play that much, then you're preparing for 2 teams. I think it really gives you more of what the team's work of art was for the whole year. Yeah. LSU had to prepare. They beat 4 ranked teams this year, ranked in the top 20, top 25. And you have to prepare. That's why the Boise States, everybody shoots them down because they don't have to do that day in and day out.
I'm going to tell you what. Even what would you have had? You would have had LSU versus Stanford and Oklahoma State versus Alabama.
Yep.
You'd have still ended up with the game we ended up with.
You would have.
And that's my opinion.
But the thing is that preparing for those games before, it could have prevented that.
Could have had a player go down.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
I think that when you have a playoff system in play, you see it.
Playoffs,
Division II and Division III. Why not do it for the big boys?
And they can make it work. This bullshit, y'all can make it work.
Please tell us what you guys think. I think they should go for a 4-game playoff system and wait and see how that works. And once they see the money that's being generated from it, switch it to an 8-game.
Fuck that. No, go right for 8. Don't tease with 4. Look what the D2 and D3 schools are doing and just mimic them.
Yeah.
Go talk to those guys because they got it down pat.
They really
do.
Now,
on to the NFL. And let me just put this out there for you guys. Most of the time when I make my picks, whether it's a fighter or a game, I'm picking with my heart and not my head. And you people who are fans should understand that. You people who are Fedor fans understand that shit more than anybody else.
Right.
So, with that said, I did pick the Pittsburgh Steelers because I expected them to beat the holy mother-loving brakes off the Broncos. That one was just, to me, the only people who picked Tebow and them to win was Jesus and Bronco fans. That's it. No one else picked you to win.
Yeah.
So don't act like it was fucking shocking for me to say that the Steelers are going to beat the Broncos. Because the only reason the Broncos lost that game is because Ryan Clark didn't play and Ben Roethlisberger couldn't get out of his own way. And,
but I will say this.
Denver's defense is nasty.
Denver's defense was pretty shut down. I mean, the Steelers, with all that being said, I mean, it's funny because Saturday night, Jimmy and I were sitting there. We were watching. We kept going, I don't know, man. I got to. Well, we were sitting there looking at George, and none of us thought that the Broncos were winning the game. But Jimmy and I were sitting there going, we got a funny feeling, man, that something's going to happen.
With Mendenhall out, you're starting safety out. And I guess the part that bothered me the most was, why didn't the Steelers ever make an adjustment? They played with 1 safety over the top the whole entire game. Yeah. Why not just play 2 safeties and play them straight up after he burned you down?
They were putting 9 in the box, and they were basically saying, we don't, what everybody has said, we don't think Tebow can do it. And I'm going to tell you what.
His line showed up and gave him enough time because that motherfucker has to go.
He passed the best game of his life.
Did you see the yardage?
What was it, like
316?
Yeah. He had the best.
No. Think about that again. 316.
Right. Oh shit. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, I'm going to tell you this: the overtime pass was without a doubt the best pass he's ever thrown in his career. I mean, ever.
That one
college
down,
pro.
I'm gonna tell you right now. That one down the left-hand sideline.
That was good too.
Tim Tebow made some excellent passes, and if Tim Tebow learns how to shorten that thing up, Tim Tebow could be an effective quarterback. Yeah. But he needs an extra 2 seconds to get that thing off that he's just not going to have every game.
Yeah. Now, let's move on since we're we can talk about Tebow all day long.
We're going to talk about the NFL and the playoffs, and us here at Uncut Sports, we understand what Tebow's doing, but we're not like other sports networks where it's Tim Tebow time, and that shit's annoying, dude.
Because there was another game, and that was the New York Giants, and they basically the Falcons came to visit them, and you know what? It's just like I called it.
Yeah,
I just, and you know what? The biggest factor for me was it's two things. The Falcons are terrible away from home. Matt Ryan has a terrible record away from the Georgia Dome. And then on top of that, the Giants, people can knock Tom Coughlin and people can knock Eli Manning, but I tell you what, the Giants play great playoff football. You saw what they did to the Patriots a few years back.
Because they have a running game and a defense.
And their defense is starting to get healthy. Their defense is showing up.
Their front four is nasty.
Ridiculous. And they were covering. Ross, he went out with concussion symptoms, but he's back. They said he's going to play. They're dangerous.
So let's take a look at the playoff pictures and break it down. Okay. We'll tell you how the teams got there. Saints versus the 49ers is your first game.
Right.
Saints got there because they absolutely blew the doors off Detroit. I know, I understand. I picked Detroit to win because again, that was with my heart and not my head, because I'd like to see the Packers go to the Super Bowl. And that they're going to have a problem with that. But with that said, they are now facing the 49ers, who had a first week bye.
Right. The 49ers, and I'm one of these people, like, people say time off. I think time off is not always good. When your team is on the roll and you're doing well, I think you take that into the next week and you keep going with the momentum. That's just me personally, how I feel about it. The Saints do get that going to San Francisco. They're a 3.5 favorite. The over-under
47?
on this is 47. I'm
betting under me.
Yeah, I probably go on the under. I just think this.
Cup of cheese.
Damn, got me dropping M-bombs, man. You a funky motherfucker.
Yeah, I told you, man. Guts are bad right now. Guts are bad.
Oh. But anyway,
right.
The 49ers, I think if they can jump out and establish ball control with their running game.
Saints don't have a defense. It should be pretty easy.
Yeah. I think if they can keep – the key is to
keep Breeze off the field.
Yeah, and I love the Saints.
Same way you beat the Packers.
Yeah, but I think if you keep them off the field, they're going to win this game. And
I could see it being the 49ers and the Packers. I could see it being the 49ers and the Giants.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep off – if they do that, and Harbaugh is great at game planning, I think that they can beat the Saints. I'm going to go –
I'm going with the 49ers because they're at home.
Huh?
I'm picking the 49ers because they're at home. Now, that doesn't mean that Breeze can't win the game.
What's the weather like? It's supposed to be pretty dry. If the weather's dry, he can start fucking exposing them. He's got 800 weapons. That mug's got more fucking weapons than fucking Lockheed Martin, surely. Laurel?
So who are you picking? Just pick a team. Go with the Saints.
I'm going to go with the Saints.
Good.
Since you went to 49ers.
Now,
I'll go
Giants
with the
and the Packers. This is the way I see this one breaking down. If the Giants pass rush can do what they just did to Matty Ice to Aaron Rodgers, you're going to have a very low-scoring game.
Right.
Because the Packers' run game, non-existent. The Packers' defense has taken a siesta the last couple games, and they're going to need to be able to stop the run. And right now, between Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs, dude, they're running downhill.
Brandon Jacobs?
Brandon Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs from the Czech Republic.
Yeah. Brandon Jacobs.
Anyway, yeah, he's a straight freight train.
Yeah, dude, those are two big-ass tailbacks, and they're going to pound on them.
Yeah, and you got to think about the earlier matchup between the Giants and the Packers. The Packers only walked away with a 3-point victory.
And let's face it, Giants going to Green Bay, the cold weather ain't going to bother
they're
Giants.
used to it, man. And they're on the roll, and they just played this week.
Like butter.
If they take that momentum, and you know what? I'm going to pick the Giants in an upset.
I'm going with the Packers.
You going to go with the Packers? Okay, I'm going to pick the Giants in an upset.
Okay.
Now, let's move on to the Texans versus Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens.
And the only reason I say it, and this is
T.J. Yates. That's the reason I'm saying it. Godspeed, son.
Yeah,
You're going to get killed.
Yeah, and the whole thing is Houston has a great defense. We all know that. You know, the way they win games is through their run game and their defense, which can sometimes win you championships. But the problem is you're going to all the time.
I'm about to say, no, let's seriously. When's the last time a team won a Super Bowl without a strong defense in run game?
Yeah, it's been a good minute. I'd have to say it was the Saints.
I was going to say the Rams.
Yeah, the Saints too, but they had a pretty decent defense. But they had
who?
The Saints. But The bottom line is the Texans are going up against the best run defense in the NFL.
They're going up against my Super Bowl pick.
Yeah. So I think that I'm going to go with. I don't know if the Ravens are going to cover that 7.5 point spread.
Who gives a shit? They're going to cover TJ. They're going to spread TJ Yates all over the field. They're going to kill TJ Yates.
I'm going to give that boy a fit. That's my opinion.
It's 100% chance of rain tomorrow, so it could be a little sloppy track up there.
It could be. Now, Broncos.
Go ahead.
Versus the Patriots.
Bet against Jesus' love child.
Huh?
I don't know. To be honest, 100% honest,
the Bible just did not give a shit about those new overtime rules, did they?
No, we just watched the Patriots 2 weeks ago going to Denver and beat the shit out of the Broncos.
Yeah.
The hoodie's just game planning. Been game planning since about Tim Tebow went like this in overtime.
I just think that you're going to be in New England. You got Belichick's game plan, and you got Brady. I can't see it happen. They're a 13.5 point favorite.
That's huge.
And you know what? I think people are like, "Oh, that's a huge." I think that if they win the game, they're going to win. If they don't, I don't see this being a close game. It's either going to be some miraculous way the Broncos win it, or the Patriots are going to beat the brakes.
Don't get me wrong. Being a pseudo Ravens fan, because I've always liked their defense, because they punch you in the mouth. I would love to see the Broncos win.
Oh, yeah, I would too. Yeah.
Just because they have to come to Baltimore.
Yeah.
I don't particularly want to see anyone have to go to New England. I think that's just tough.
Yeah.
To play those guys at home. Now, other NFL news, and this one just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson of the Oakland Raiders got fired.
That team was – I thought that guy – he coached a great season. The problem is he lost those last 4 games.
So what?
You know? But they were just straight. They dealt with a lot of bullshit. Al Davis passed away. I thought he did great.
How can you not give that guy another chance? You've had
star running back went out.
Dude, Art Shell's been there 14 times to be a head coach. Yeah. Hugh Jackson deserves another chance.
Running back went out. Fucking you started out with Campbell, then he went down, then you had somebody else, then you fucking ended up getting Carson Palmer midway through the season.
And word on the street is a motherfucking Marty Schottenheimer's going to get another head coaching
He's
gig.
like 975
years old. And I understand
old.
Mr. Ewing, he went 14-2, whatever he did. Dude, he's old.
Yeah.
His system's old. Shit's passed you by. It's time to move on. I posted on our Facebook page. I don't understand with these NFL owners, and I'm assuming it's still that good old boy network where they look out for each other. Yeah. Dude, come on. Marty Schottenheimer, dog? You're telling me there's not one other person, Hugh Jackson, who deserves a shot?
I just think the game is starting to evolve, man. I mean, you see how many points they're putting up and everything. I just think, you know what, man? You need these.
Be creative.
Yeah. You got to have these cutting-edge coaches, these new guys.
Now.
Other news.
RG3's going pro.
Yeah.
Robert Griffin III.
Me and B-Mill were going back and forth on Twitter earlier today. Bobby.
Who?
Bobby Miller. We were going back and forth. He was like, pass up on. I said, I like to get RG3. I hope we can get him. I hope the Skins can get him.
I think he's going to Cleveland.
Now, most mock draft boards have Cleveland getting Trent Richardson.
Really?
Yeah. They don't have RG3 going in the top 5. And so, Bobby and I were going back and forth. He's like, you guys got to pass up on RG, get Blackman, But my thing is getting a big receiver like that.
I'm not sold on Blackman.
I'm not sold on Blackman either. And this is the thing. It's like, you know what, man? These quarterbacks that have come out of college lately have been impressive.
Yes, they're ready to play.
They're ready to play. And
Andy
it's
Dalton.
Andy Dalton, Cam Newton,
TJ Yates.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing good. He's holding down the fort. He's not. I mean, then you look at
Arian Foster's holding down the fort.
Yeah, and he was saying that we should. He's saying that we should get Blackman and then try to get Barkley.
Barkley's not even coming out.
Well, next year, but that's too much in my opinion.
See, and
You're
again,
waiting.
I'm not sold on any quarterback from USC. They basically play on pro football teams, and if those Bamas don't show up, their team still wins. I've said it time and time again. Mm-hmm. Go look at Flacco. Go look at Matt Ryan. When they didn't show up in college, their teams lost.
Right.
Then you look at Matt Leinart. How many games did Matt Leinart lose as a quarterback?
Yeah.
How many games did Carson Palmer lose? How many games did fucking Mark Sanchez lose in college?
Yeah.
It's not because they played well.
Yeah.
I mean...
I just think some of these, especially USC. I mean, it seems like if you're a USC quarterback, and that's not taking anything away from Mark Barkley because he's talented, but you get put way up on a pedestal immediately,
and you get you get NFL level talent around you on both sides of the ball.
Right. I mean, they got everything.
RG3 played at Baylor. Name one other player on Baylor. I'll wait. Yeah, that's why. I think Andrew Luck is going to be good at the next level because he was getting it done with 4-string players, players who wouldn't even make It owns squads of other teams.
Yeah.
And if I'm the Colts, I take them too.
Yeah, and I mean, I think do I think Barkley will come out next year and be a successful quarterback?
Oh, no.
I do.
I don't.
See, I think he will, but I don't think you pass up on RG3, who's proven right now, and he's smart. He's football smart. He's athletic. He's fast. He's got a good hand. He's accurate. Why are you gonna let
that boy can throw?
That boy can throw.
Does anyone remember?
He's old Colt Brennan.
Oh,
from Hawaii.
You just killed it. You just killed it.
You gonna have
you
somebody
just killed it.
I'm sorry, man. I fudged your shit up, man.
We got some fucked up news.
I don't got no fucked up.
I do.
You do? All shit.
Oh, it's not good.
Is it that fucked up?
It's fucked up.
All right, tell me.
The Green Bay.
Oh yeah, man.
That's fucked up.
Unfortunate. You know that's as fucked up as it may seem.
That's fucked up.
It was just he just drowned. The kid drowned.
Yeah, in the river.
That's just no.
Okay, so yeah. In all seriousness, one of the assistant coaches for Green Bay, his son went missing, and they found him in the river.
That's
fucked up.
I mean, how long was the kid missing?
A couple days. Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna play out. I mean, he's their O coordinator. He just helps do plays.
Dude, I'm sorry for bringing this fucked up news segment because I didn't do enough research. I just read where the kid went swimming and didn't make it.
Yeah, I mean, now Witchmajig calls Mike McCarthy calls the plays for Green Bay, but I mean that's got to be this guy is part of their offensive game planning, and now he's lost his son. That's a major fucking distraction, dude. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, and
speaking of other things, are you gonna go see Haywire?
No.
Really? Why not?
It's
getting a lot of ink, man.
No,
Michael Douglas up in that motherfucker.
And I'm going to be
hash mark Michael Douglas.
Like, he needs press?
Hash mark Channing Tatum.
You want to go ahead and hash mark the real person who's done it. And
hash mark Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And like my boy said, down in Carolina.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's in that shit, man.
Like my boy said, down in Carolina, I think they've already done this movie, and it was a couple years ago, and it was called Bourne. But
The Bourne Identity.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really go see action flicks.
Yeah.
I didn't see Expendables. I don't go watch Mission Impossibles. If I'm going to the movies...
Mission Impossibles?
Yeah, because there's more than one.
That's true. That's a good point, man. I like how you roll with that shit.
Damn. Action movies I don't go to the theater and see. Now, if this thing rolls to HBO, which I'm assuming it will about 1 week after it hits the theaters, I'll probably watch it there. But in all honesty, I'm not going to spend $12 to watch that woman jump around and beat up people.
Hash mark Antonio Banderas.
Who the fuck is that? Isn't that the lead singer from Menudo? Who the fuck is Antonio? When's the last time Antonio Banderas did shit?
I'm just saying, dog.
You know people are now mad because we've turned this into a TMZ segment? Because
people...
Fucked up news, Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
And I'm not even... You know what? I'm not upset. And for all you people out there who say, I'm banging on the dude because he's a black dude and I'm a white dude, you can suck my fucking pink dick.
George, like a lot of people,
minds.
do not like Floyd Mayweather.
Because he's an asshole.
Because he could be an asshole. But I tell you what, he $400,000. Did you see that slip?
Right, and you know what bothered me most about that? Is 128 people on Twitter like that shit. Why would you like that? What is there to like about this motherfucker having enough money to risk on a game?
And I don't know what Floyd Mayweather does with this money. I don't know. I would like it if he said, okay, I'm going to do it, and bam, I'm putting it all towards a donation. And that I think would be really good. And maybe he will. I don't know.
Because let me tell you right now, Vegas is in business because the book always wins.
Yeah, we're not seeing it go on.
I want to see some of the losing tickets that this man has had.
I want to see Bob Arum make the fight happen. Because you know what? I'm a Pacquiao fan because I like what the man does outside the ring as well as what he does inside the ring.
How does Pacquiao have no say in this? How does Bob Arum have
he's becoming the new Don King.
But I don't understand. Like, if I want to fight you and I'm a boxer and you're a boxer, why do I need a promoter? I don't understand. Like,
but Mayweather fans are loving it. And I tell you what, Pacquiao fans have got to be like fucking getting irritated about it because you know what? At this point in time, Mayweather's like, oh, I will fight you. And now Abrams making excuses saying, oh, we want to do this and we want to fight in June. Well, he knows that Mayweather's got to go to jail in June.
Right.
You know, it's just so full of shit. This guy's fucking wrecking it for everybody. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it now.
I don't get it. So for all you boxing fans out there, if you could explain to me what role this man plays and why he has the final say and the boxers don't, I don't understand.
But this is why, you know, you get people that are like, you know what? You get a lot of these people, and there's always the argument that people are like, oh, boxing is dying. Man, boxing's not dying. Boxing actually is probably growing more popular, but it's not growing as popular as MMA is compared to where it was. You know what I mean? MMA is growing at a faster rate, and it's because of shit like this. You see the fights all the time. Fights happen. You know that sooner or later, everybody wants. Okay, name a champion.
Joe.
No, besides my mom. Name a champion like John Jones, right?
Yeah.
Who do you want to see?
Everybody.
Right. I know a lot of people say, I think Dan Henderson. Well, you know what? John Jones came out and says, I'm ready to fight again. So it looks like they're going to fight. You know? You will see Silva fight Sonnen again.
Oh, did you hear where it's going to happen?
Oh, at a Brazil soccer stadium.
And you know what I said? I want to know the odds of Chael Sonnen making it out of that soccer stadium alive.
Not a lot.
No, and look, you might think I'm kidding. I'm not.
Yep.
If Chael Sonnen, in my opinion, if he is dumb enough to take that fight in that stadium, that's bad. Seriously, you are risking your life. Brazil is different. South of fucking Texas, shit doesn't work the way it does up here. It just doesn't. And I'm including parts of Florida in that one. Y'all do shit different.
Florida's got like more serial killers than anything.
And let me tell you right now, James, you roll all this shit into the fucked up news, because the next part of the fucked up news is I was going to talk about the Chael Sonnen thing, but now you stole it. So anyway, he's got to beat Munoz.
He does.
If he beats Mark Munoz, and they tell him you're going to have to go to Brazil to fight in a soccer stadium, do you honestly think he has a chance of getting out of there alive? Yeah,
God,
I know, man.
You just busting off farts like shit, man. You lighting my house up. I don't know, man. I'm not worried about Sonnen get out of soccer stadium alive. I'm worried about me getting off the set alive.
Oh,
your funky ass.
One more thing.
Can you hand me the remote?
Nah, man. One more thing. Here's another piece of fucked up news. Word on the street is Fedor Emelianenko will be the Strikeforce heavyweight +1 fight. So in other words, Barnett and Cormier are going to fight. And the winner of that could possibly face Fedor Emelianenko. Now tell me how the fuck that works.